Hello and welcome to Quiz Class. My name's Ellis and I'll be your host for today's quiz, which is all on trivia aimed for boomers, for baby boomers. We would love you to let us know at the end of the video today how you've done based on our Quiz Class awards from Champion, Master, Enthusiast, Apprentice or Explorer. Make sure you let us know how many points you scored and which award you've received. Today's lineup then, we've got questions for you on books, entertainment, politics, sports, fads and travel. And we're going to start today's quiz with a section on Bountiful books. Good luck. Here's question 1. In which city in Alabama did To Kill a Mockingbird take place? Dothan, Macomb or Auburn? The answer is Macomb. 2. Between 1961 and 1982, which book was the most censored in high schools and libraries within the US? The Catcher in the Rye, Slaughterhouse-5 or A Clockwork Orange? The answer is The Catcher in the Rye. 3. What is the pseudonym used by the protagonist of the novel Lolita? Humbert Humbert, John Ray Jr. or Claire Quilty? The answer is Humbert Humbert. Which famous author's debut 1952 novel is entitled Player Piano? Ayn Rand, Isaac Asimov, or Kurt Vonnegut? The answer is Kurt Vonnegut. Question 5. Which of the following authors was not a significant figure of the Beat generation? Allen Ginsberg, Ralph Ellison, or Jack Kerouac? The answer is Ralph Ellison. Question 6. On which island of the Mediterranean Sea is the novel Catch-22 primarily set? Pianosa, Capria, or Elba? The correct answer is Pianosa. 7. In James Baldwin's The Fire Next Time, which essay appears second? Down at the Cross, My Dungeon Shook, or Mary Don't You Weep? The answer is Down at the Cross. 8. In 1955, which library was the largest in the world? The British Library, Russian State Library, or US Library of Congress? In 1955, the largest library in the world was US Library of Congress. Who of the following people did not win a Nobel Prize in Literature during the 1950s? Ernest Hemingway, John Steinbeck, or Winston Churchill? Which of those people did not win a Nobel Prize in Literature during the 1950s? The answer is John Steinbeck. Question 10. Which of these individuals have won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction the most times? Robert Frost, Robert Penn Warren, or Robert E. Sherwood? The correct answer is Robert Penn Warren. 11. What superhero is widely considered to have begun the Silver Age of comic books in 1956? The Flash, The Incredible Hulk, or Martian Manhunter? The answer is The Flash. 12. Which Allen Ginsberg work had copies seized by San Francisco Customs for obscenity in 1957? The Fall of America, Kaddish, or Howl? The correct answer is Howl. On to question 13. Which American novelist voluntarily participated in consuming psychoactive drugs in CIA project MK as research for their 1962 novel? Was that Anthony Burgess? Was it Ken Kesey? Or was it Ray Bradbury? The answer is Ken Kesey. 14. Which book of the Chronicles of Narnia was published third? The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, The Silver Chair, or The Horse and His Boy? The answer is The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. 15. What English children's fantasy novel features a protagonist by the name of Arrietty Clock? Tom's Midnight Garden, The Borrowers, or The Lantern Bearers? The answer is The Borrowers. And that concludes our literature round. We're now moving on to some questions on entertainment. How engaged have you been in the world of entertainment? Let's find out over these 15 questions. What American actor received the Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Television Series in 1963? Richard Boone, Robert Vaughn, or Mickey Rooney? The correct answer is Mickey Rooney. 17. Herb Stempel was a whistleblower who claimed in 1956 that which quiz show was rigged? Tic-Tac-Doe, 21, or Dotto? Herb Stempel was a whistleblower who claimed that 21 was rigged. The answer is 21. What 1954 American television series followed the adventures of a female rough collie? Lassie, Wilfred, or Rhubarb? The correct answer, Lassie. What 1963 British television series began airing the day after the assassination of American President John F. Kennedy? Jane Eyre, Haunted, or Doctor Who? The answer is Doctor Who. 20. What 1962 adventure drama film is based on the life of T.E. Lawrence? What 1962 adventure drama film is based on the life of T.E. Lawrence? Is that The Great Escape, Lawrence of Arabia, or The Wild Bunch? The answer is Lawrence of Arabia. The director of the Pink Panther film series, Blake Edwards, directed what famous 1961 romantic comedy? The Parent Trap, Blue Hawaii, or Breakfast at Tiffany's? The answer is Breakfast at Tiffany's. Question 22. What are the names of the two teenage gangs in West Side Story? Are they the Jets and the Sharks, the Bears and the Serpents, or the Tees and the Roughs? They are the Jets and the Sharks. What director was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Director 5 times, finally winning in 1964 for My Fair Lady? So we've got George Cukor there, John Ford and Frank Lloyd, which is correct. The answer is George Cukor. What 1954 American musical tragedy film is the second of 4 different adaptations, with others in 1937, 76 and 2018? And here your options are The Phantom of the Opera, La La Land or A Star is Born. The answer is A Star is Born. What role did American actor Robert Young play in the 1949 series Father Knows Best? Bud Anderson, James Anderson Sr. or Bob Harris? The answer is James Anderson Sr. And we're a quarter of the way through this quiz now. By 1950, how many American families had television sets? 6.8 million, 4.4 million, or 1.13 million? By 1950, 4.4 million American families had television sets. What film by Italian director Federico Fellini won the first foreign language film Academy Award? The White Sheik, Knights of Cabiria, or La Strada? Is it The White Sheik, Knights of Cabiria, or La Strada? The answer is La Strada. In what 1947 Broadway play did Marlon Brando play the role of Stanley Kowalski, which he would later reprise for the 1951 film of the same name? A Streetcar Named Desire, Candida, or Truckline Cafe? The answer is A Streetcar Named Desire. What 1959 film epic is tied for the most Academy Award wins with 11? Is it Ben-Hur, All About Eve, or Gigi? The answer is the classic Ben-Hur. 30. In what year did widescreen picture films become the norm? 1962, 59, or 53? Was it in 1962, 59, or 53? The answer is 1953. Now we've got some questions on politics for you. 15 questions, all in the world of politics. What Egyptian president was responsible for the nationalisation of the Suez Canal in 1956? Was that Gamal Abdel Nasser, Mohammed Naguib, or Anwar Sadat? The answer is Gamal Abdel Nasser. The Algerian War eventually led to Algerian independence from what country? France, the United Kingdom, or Spain? The Algerian War eventually led to Algerian independence from France. The answer is France. Which Cuban president was overthrown by Fidel Castro in 1959? Miguel Diaz-Canel, Raúl Castro, or Fulgencio Batista? The answer is Fulgencio Batista. Question 34. In August 1953, a coup by the US and UK, codenamed Operation Ajax, overthrew the Prime Minister of which country? Turkey, Iraq, or Iran? The answer is Iran. After which 1954 battle did France grant independence to Cambodia, Laos and Vietnam? Le Hong Phong II, Dien Bien Phu or Gulf of Tonkin? After which 1954 battle defeat did France grant independence to Cambodia, Laos and Vietnam? The answer is Dien Bien Phu. The Peace Corps were established by John F. Kennedy in what year? 1961, 1954 or 1970? The answer is 1961. Which piece of US legislation outlawed racial segregation in schools, public places and employment? Civil Rights Act of 1964, Declaration of Rights and Sentiments, or Executive Order 9981? The answer is Civil Rights Act of 1964. The Quiet Revolution occurred in which country? Cuba, Canada, or Denmark? The Quiet Revolution occurred in Canada. The famous 1960 Winds of Change speech was made by which British Prime Minister? Harold Macmillan, Anthony Eden, or Winston Churchill? The correct answer is Harold Macmillan. Question 40. Pope John Paul VI became head of the Catholic Church and sovereign of the Vatican City State in what decade? 1940s, 50s, or 60s? Well, that all happened in the 1960s. The world's first bullet train commenced operation in which country? Indonesia, Japan, or South Korea? The answer is Japan. Moving on now to question 42. Which man was responsible for the assassination of John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States? Lee Harvey Oswald, Jack Ruby, or Gerald Posner? The answer is Lee Harvey Oswald. What was the given name for those associated with the youth movement of counterculture in the 1960s? Hippies, beatniks, or shawls? The answer is hippies. Which foundational civil rights event took place between 1955 and 56 in Alabama? Greensboro sit-ins, Montgomery bus boycott, or Selma marches? The answer is Montgomery bus boycott. Well done if you got that one right. Here's question 45. The 1964 Summer Olympic Games were the first Olympics ever held in Asia. In which country were they held? The People's Republic of China, South Korea, or Japan? The answer is Japan. Now we're going to move on to some questions on sports. How well do you know your sport? Let's find out with our 15 questions in this next category, starting with question 46. In 1962, NBA player Wilt Chamberlain set the record for most points ever scored in a game with how many? 100, 81 or 89? The answer is 100 points. In 1950, the NFL merged with what rival American Football League? AAFC, CFL, or AILE? In 1950, the NFL merged with a rival American Football League, and that league was the AAFC, and that's your answer. 48. In 1950, the NBA made which important rule change? Free throw line, allowing dunking, or allowing black players? The answer, unbelievably, is that it wasn't until 1950 that the NBA allowed black players. So the answer is allowing black players. Which major American sports magazine was founded in 1954 by Stuart Sheftel? Sporting News, Fitness Magazine, or Sports Illustrated? Stuart Sheftel founded Sports Illustrated. 50. Which Major League Baseball team won 7 out of 9 World Series they played in during the 1950s? New York Yankees, New York Mets, or Boston Red Sox? And this is our halfway question today. Hope you're keeping up so far. The answer to question 50 is New York Yankees. 51. Which notable MLB player broke the colour line in pro baseball in 1947? Larry Doby, Jackie Robinson, or Willard Brown? The answer is Jackie Robinson. 52. In the 1952 Winter Olympics, an ice hockey team would win their 7th gold medal in 8 Olympics. Which country was this team from? Canada, Russia, or Denmark? The answer is Canada. 53. What was the original name for the Atlanta Hawks NBA team when they joined the league in 1950? Milwaukee Hawks, St. Louis Hawks, or Tri-Cities Black Hawks? The answer is Tri-Cities Black Hawks. 54. Liechtenstein, the Netherlands, Spain and Sweden boycotted the 1956 Summer Olympics in Melbourne due to the Soviet invasion of what country? Hungary, Ukraine, or Estonia? The answer is Hungary. How many teams were originally part of the NHL? 18, 6, or 12? The National Hockey League originally, there were only 6 teams originally involved. Which team beat Brazil to win the 1950 World Cup held in Brazil? Was it Uruguay, Paraguay, or Chile? So definitely a South American derby, but which is the correct answer? The answer is Uruguay. 57. In 1950, the Japanese Baseball League would be reorganised to become which modern league? Japan's Baseball Association, Shokichu Baseball League, or Nippon Professional Baseball? And that is your answer there, Nippon Professional Baseball. In 1954, who would become the first athlete to ever run a 4-minute mile? John Walker, John Landy, or Roger Bannister? The answer is Roger Bannister. 59. Which American pro golfer won both the Masters Tournament and US Open in 1960? Arnold Palmer, Ken Venturi, or Jack Nicklaus? The correct answer is Arnold Palmer. Question 60. 1963 Ladies World Figure Skating Champion Soike Dijkstra was from which country? Apologies if I've mispronounced the name there. But is the answer Germany, Netherlands, or Denmark? Which country was she from? The answer is Netherlands. And that concludes the sports section of this quiz. And now we're going to move on to fads. Fast fads. What clothing technique, popular in the 1960s, uses the binding of clothing in rubber or string ties for the purpose of colouring? Wax resist, tie-dye, or screen print? The answer is tie-dye. What 1963 invention was conceived when Edward Craven Walker watched a homemade egg timer bubble on a stovetop in a pub? Bubble light, lava lamp, or plasma globe? The answer is the lava lamp. Dalek Mania was a 60s fad centred around Terry Nation's creations for what television drama series? Doctor Who, Star Trek, or Scooby-Doo? Well, Terry Nation's creations were the Daleks for Doctor Who. What fad plastic dolls were previously known as Dam dolls after their creator, Danish woodcutter Thomas Dam? Barbie, China doll, or Troll doll? What fad plastic dolls were previously known as Dam dolls after their creator, Danish woodcutter Thomas Dam? The answer is the Troll doll. What early 60s form of dance was performed by Carol Doda at the Condor Club in San Francisco? Go-go dancing, pole dance, or flapper? The answer is go-go dancing. 66. What fad plastic toy was the subject of Georgia Gibbs' last US Top 40 hit? Hula hoop, frisbee, or silly string? The answer is hula hoop. What 40s and 50s informal dance event required attendees to remove their hard-soled shoes to protect gymnasium floors? Loop dance, sock hop, or Bobby Soxer? The answer is sock hop. What unique fur headwear was associated with the early American frontier despite being mainly popular in the 1950s? Ushanka, crocket cap, or coonskin cap? And that bottom option is your answer there. On to question 69. What popular youth subculture was first cinematically represented in the 1953 film The Wild One? Greasers, punks, or metalheads? The answer is greasers. Question 70. Which notable co-ed college prank involves the theft of clothing as trophies? Panty tree, panty raid, or trophy raid? The answer is a panty raid. Question 71. What 1950s skirt fad involves a needlework design applied on top of the fabric? Poodle skirt, mini skirt, or pencil skirt? The answer is poodle skirt. The 50s colloquial slang G-man refers to what? Government agent, gardener, or gangster? The answer is government agent. What popular children's arts and crafts toy was originally used as a wallpaper cleaner? Nerf, Play-Doh, or Big Lou? Originally used as a wallpaper cleaner, the answer is Play-Doh. What popular 50s dance became the subject of a Hank Ballard song by the same name? The Pony, Funky Chicken, or the Twist? The answer is the Twist. The 1952 film Buona Devil is notable for sparking the first instance of what movie craze? Widescreen, Mega Motion, or 3D? The 1952 film Buona Devil is notable for sparking the first instance of 3D craze. We're now moving on to some questions about travel. What hurricane hit the northeastern United States in August of 1955? Hurricane Diane, Hurricane Hazel, or Hurricane Audrey? In 1955, northeastern United States was hit by Hurricane Diane. Before 1958, what was the most popular mode of transatlantic travel? Aircraft, private boats, or ocean liner? Before 1958, the most popular mode of transatlantic travel was the ocean liner. 78. What was the name of the first artificial satellite to orbit the Earth? Sputnik 1, Explorer 1, or San Marco 1? The answer is Sputnik 1. In which decade was the first purpose-built jet airliner flown? 1950s, 1940s, or 1960s? The answer is 1940s. The first spacecraft to land on the moon's surface, Luna 2, originated from which country? China, United States, or the Soviet Union? The first spacecraft to land on the moon's surface, Luna 2, originated from the Soviet Union. What term refers to the increase in aerodynamic drag when an aircraft approaches the speed of sound, first done in 1947? Atmospheric pull, the sound barrier, or hypersonic drag? The answer to question 81 is the sound barrier. In 1956, the world map changed to show that the Anglo-Egyptian Sudan had become Republic of Sudan, South Sudan, or Sudanese Republic. The answer is Republic of Sudan. 83. The 1960 Valvidon earthquake, the most powerful ever recorded, was also known as Great Chilean Earthquake, Skopje Earthquake, or Good Friday Earthquake. The answer is Great Chilean Earthquake. In December of 1960, United Airlines DC-8 and what other aircraft collided over New York City? Boeing 707-329, Boeing 720, or TWA Lockheed Constellation? And that's your answer, TWA Lockheed Constellation. What was the name of the first man in space? Yuri Gagarin, Ed White, or Neil Armstrong? The name of the first man in space was Yuri Gagarin. The discovery of the cosmic microwave background founded what theory as the most likely origin of the universe in 1964? The cosmic filter, the Big Bang, or creationism? The answer is the Big Bang. 87. Typhoon Vera hit the largest and most populous island of Japan in 1959. What island did it hit? Shikoku, Honshu, or Kyushu? The answer is Honshu. Question 88. The world's first nuclear was opened in a city near which capital? Budapest, Moscow, or Kiev? It was a city near Moscow, or Moscow. 89 now. What African country would be the first to gain independence in the 1950s? Sudan, Sierra Leone, or Libya? What African country would be the first to gain independence in the 1950s? The answer is Libya. Question 90. By the 1960s, the UK had lost the airliner market to the US due to which disaster? Comet disaster, Vickers disaster, or Concorde disaster? And the correct answer is Comet disaster. And we always finish here with a mystery round, 10 questions to finish off this quiz that could be about anything. What period of painting was Jackson Pollock most prominent for? Drip period, mural period, or figure period? The correct answer is the drip period. 92. What British young subculture of the 50s and 60s were commonly associated American rock and roll? Dandies, Zoots, or Teddy Boys? The answer is Teddy Boys. 93. In which year did the inaugural Formula One World Championship take place? 1947, 1950, or 1959? The inaugural Formula One World Championship took place in 1950. 94. The 1958 FIFA World Cup is of note for being the debut of then 17-year-old legend George Best, Lev Yashin, or Pele. The correct answer is Pele. On to question 95. What is the birth name of film and modelling legend Marilyn Monroe? Is it Gladys Baker, Norma Mortensen, or Ida Belenda? The birth name of film and modelling legend Marilyn Monroe is Norma Mortensen. 96. Houseboat is a 1958 American romantic comedy starring Cary Grant and what famous Italian actress? Sophia Loren, Martha Hyer, or Caroline Cinzia? The answer is Sophia Loren. 97. Unforgettable is a single from 1951 by Irving Gordon, but is more well known from its cover by what American singer? Bing Crosby, Tony Arden, or Nat King Cole? The answer is Nat King Cole. Approximately how many records has music legend Elvis Presley sold worldwide? 200 million, 350 million, or 500 million? Approximately, music legend Elvis Presley has sold 500 million records worldwide. 99. What famous sci-fi horror anthology series by Rod Serling ran from 1959 to 1964? The Outer Limits, The Twilight Zone, or Goosebumps? The answer is The Twilight Zone. And question 100. What is the name typically given to those born between 1946 and 1964? Generation X, Generation Z, or Baby Boomers? Well, the whole quiz been aimed at you. It's Baby Boomers. Bonus question. What year did World War II end? Let us know the answer to that one in the comments and let us know how many points you scored based on our quiz class awards, because that is the end of the quiz. So, are you a champion, a quiz master, enthusiast, apprentice, or even an explorer? Let us know in the comments how you got on and how many points you scored. Thanks for playing this quiz. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications on all of our upcoming videos. In the meantime, there are plenty of quizzes already uploaded that you can try right now, so please do get involved. My name's Ellis and I've been your host. Thanks again for joining us today at Quiz Class. We'll see you next time.